Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Henze, and I work at Epicentro Dalva, which is a project in Pedra Bela, São Paulo, about 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours from the center of São Paulo, Brazil. And I'd like to talk a bit about our work, and hopefully you can enjoy and join us. This presentation has the focus of looking at the water mine and veins in this water basin, which half of the basin belongs to Epicentro Dalva, the other half belongs to a neighbor, though there's a chance a partner might purchase the remaining side, the other side, and we can close the water basin. This is Epicentro Dalva before we started working here. We started beginning 2016. So it was a really, really compacted earth that has been abused in some ways with monocultures and cattle, poor use of cattle and monocultures. This is 2 years later, a year and a half later after we start working at the farm, 3 years later. So our work is to develop models of food production, and that accelerates earth regeneration. That's our main purpose. We work with the principles of natural succession, of the principles that the forest uses already, which is stratification, the amount of light, shade that each plant needs, succession, which is the time of growth, and the stage, the amount of nutrients that the plant needs according to its stage. We work with mulching, but the main principle is maximizing photosynthesis, which is through pruning and optimizing stratification and succession. Mulching. This is from one of our classes. We teaching people how to work with stratification, the short cycles, and the principles, and the plants that just works as fertilizers. This is a part of another presentation we teach in our courses. Some of the presentation we teach in our courses. This is for horticulture. And this is that same field today, coming from more or less here to 6 years later, we get here. And we still have mangoes and bananas and fruits with it as the earth telling us, congratulations, you're having some kind of success here. I'd like to talk about the water mines we have just on our side of the basin. Of course, there's the neighbor's basin, which we hope to join to our side. The number one is located about here. I'm at this point right now. This is where the interns live, in this house, sorry. This is where we keep the tools. This is a mine that's relatively dry. Used to be really, really strong 30 years ago, though way before we came to the farm. They got dry throughout the years. This is the first water mine. This is the second water mine. The first one was about here. The second one's here. And this is a very, very strong mine. It's very abundant. We're going to try to measure it, though it's underneath this water retention system. So we have to measure through the escape. And this is the third water mine, which is dry and needs to be recovered. 30 years ago, it used to be really abundant. The reason I know this is because one person who used to live here showed me all the mines. His name was Chapter. Unfortunately, he recently passed away with COVID, though he showed all the water mines at Dalva. 30 years when he used to live here. This is the third water mine to be recovered. And this recovery will happen by reforesting this whole region up the mine. This is the fourth water mine, which is inside this lake. This lake was done prior for us coming here. It's more or less in the middle towards the back. And we're starting to plant around the lake to recover the vegetation. This is the fifth water mine, which is also dried, needs to be recovered. It will be recovered once we plant this region here. It's the fifth water mine that Chapter showed me. This is the sixth water mine, which is also dry. And this used to be the source of drinking water when 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they used to live here in this house. The other houses didn't exist. And it didn't have electricity. So this was the pipe that they harvested the water. And was all the water that was used came from in the house came from this source. And this is underneath this little roof. And it's at this moment it's dry. Once it's raining, it's running. It has some kind of flow, though it's pretty low. This is a seventh water mine. It's actually 7 through 10. There's 3 water mines here, and this is a really rich region in water. Once we reforest this and convert this from eucalyptus, this whole region is all eucalyptus from the neighbor. And if everything goes well, our partner will acquire this land. And we're hoping to recover this whole region. So this will become a really rich in water region. This is the 7th water mine. And there are 3 water mines within 3 meters of this region. This is another one. And this is the region where we have at least 3 water mines that I've spotted. And this is a water vein, which used to be a river, which is right at the curvature of here comes down and then plateaus, and then here comes up. And this used to be a river. Basically, Dalva is the head of the river, the beginning of a really, back in the days, a large river. This is the water vein, Our objectives is to apply the forestry, the principles of succession, and by planting pioneer trees, native trees, and also fruits, so people can have calories as well to keep working. So our goal is to regenerate the earth of the water basin, and this will be measured. The earth regeneration will be measured in partnership with the University of Lavras in Minas Gerais. And what we'll measure here will be the quantity of carbon on the earth, the pH. Our goal will be to reduce the acidity, increase micro and macro life, increase water retention on the earth. Our second goal is to increase the water flow of existing mines and recover the dry mines. And the water flow will be measured on a monthly basis, so we can get a curve of the water flow for each mine, so we know how it changes throughout the year and how it evolves as we plant the basin. We would like to also offer regenerative farming to teach people and help people who are keen on recovering their farms to augment the water systems in their farms and create more life. And we would also like to offer online courses for both earth and water regeneration. And for both of these insight courses and online courses, ideally we'd like to offer them with a low cost basis or free, especially for farmers who are already working on the land and usually are more limited on financial resources. Epicentro Dalva has been running for about 6 years. All the work here has been funded by my family. Originally it was my inheritance and until it ran out. And then we started teaching courses here and outside of Dalva and selling production. So all the funding for the earth regeneration has been taking place originally by the inheritance, and then by our work with courses and production. For 2 months ago, we managed to get a loan so we can mechanize the systems, so we now can accelerate drastically the regeneration of the earth. Until then, we did everything by hand or with a walk-behind tractor. The regeneration of the earth has a cost. It hasn't been easy to maintain fast regeneration of the basin solely through our courses here and outside of Dalva. We have as of now regenerated 4 hectares, which has regenerated the equivalent of 30 to 70 years of natural succession, which means if we were to abandon some of the sections for 30 to 70 years, it will be about at this point of regeneration. More than 1,200 people has visited Dalva, either to learn about in a 2-3 day course or a week residency program, or to visit and see how the work is done here. We will provide more detailed information shortly. This is just a brief overview of what's been going on, and hopefully you can join us and we can accelerate this project. Thank you.